Alright people, if you've watched any of the videos on how to change the steering on a troy-built mower when the steering gear gets worn out, that's on the steering column, so you have to change the whole shaft. There's a lot of videos that say, oh, you got to take a lot of stuff off, and then there's also a lot of videos that say, no, you don't have to take anything off. They're half and half right. But let me turn the camera around. It's a troy-built pony, 7-speed. You're gonna have to take the flange off and the steering wheel off, like any of the other videos. It's a 1/2-inch bolt. In the top of the steering in here, there's a 1/2-inch bolt that comes off. This flange right here has to come off, and apparently on this model there's only 2 bolts on the bottom, so those will come out easy. But then down in there, past that fuel line, is where the see where that gear is that moves, and underneath it is a washer that wears out. You might as well get the new gear in the washer. But here's the thing. This is the bolt that comes out of the bottom of that steering shaft and the washer. And everyone says that it's a number 3 Phillips head screw. They're correct, it's a number 3. And there seems to be thread lock on it from the factory. And that thread lock is what makes it so freaking hard to get out. But what I found is I have a rigid 18-volt, I don't know, X4. It's an impact driver for like screws. It's not a mechanic's impact driver. So it doesn't have the oomph of like a 24-volt mechanic's impact driver. But the head's really small. And I just lifted up the front of the tractor and put some blocks of wood under there and dropped the mower deck with the lever to its lowest setting. And there was more than enough room to get the head of this whole driver with the 3-inch number 3 bit up and underneath. See, there's more than enough room. Now here's the trick. Get yourself a propane torch and go underneath here where this bolt is and heat it up. You only got to heat it up for 30 seconds. I didn't even melt any of the paint. Just 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And that actually melts the thread lock inside the bolt. And I came right out one whack with this thing. So get yourself a number 3 bit, not a number 2 bit. And it'll come out without getting stripped, and quite easily. And then the rest of the steering replacement is pretty much self-explanatory. I'm going to be replacing all the gears and that big geared cog that connects to the steering shaft. But yeah, heat it up a little bit, and that'll save you a lot of freaking time stripping that bolt out, or having I've seen a lot of people will grab this bolt on the sides with a pair of vice grips, or they'll grab it with a pair of channel locks. And there's a lot going on underneath with all the belts and the shafts and the deck, and I don't know if I'd want to be wrenching on that with a pair of vice grips trying to get it out. So like I said, just heat it up with a torch for 30 seconds a minute, and that should melt the thread lock pretty quickly. You don't have to get it red hot, just enough to get it hot to break free. So I hope that saved somebody a bunch of headache and swearing.